about me and my bicycle. How his chemicals got the best of him when he finally let go and his independent son learned to ride on his own. How his seed pedaled further and further down the street and he watched and he would have liked to believe that his eyes beamed with pride, but they beamed with sadness and those wheels kept on spinning past need and dependency. I picture my father healthy, sitting next to my mother behind a closed bedroom door where I can't see, and he stares down at his hands, and he buries his face in them, and he's wondering where the time goes, where the end of 4 years left him without a bike to hold on to, while his boy rides the red and silver memory down the street, wondering where his gift of a bike that he can't hold on to anymore will take his boy. I hear the chemicals rip apart at that feeling of being wanted that he kept close to his heart, and he can't take his eyes off of his cracked fingers, that his seed doesn't need to steady the seat anymore, because his boy can do it on his own. I wanted to tell the tale as detailed as the demons did, with those 4 white walls as their canvas. Well, my father's father was a failure! And his mother loved her lover more than she loved her sons! My father's nearing the end of a good fight that he fought since the beginning. A far better man than the one he feared he might become. Glendora will always be the place his brain fragmented, and China will always be the place that he felt whole. Beijing will be the place that the devil tries to fight it, and my mother will always be the window to his soul. I just want them to grow old together, to sit on the front porch of their home together, to laugh about how my sister was always the far more responsible child. To reminisce about how much we've grown. You still gotta marry me and Brandy. You still gotta walk your daughter down the aisle and give her to a man that you trust enough to take care of your little girl. You gotta see the smile on her face. When she sees the smile on Mom's face, when she sees the smile on your face, and you give away your world. We're all riding our bicycles through these streets, and we're all gradually letting go. I know it doesn't make it any easier, but you're not the failure that your parents were, and I didn't ever learn to ride on my own. How frail are these bodies? And with your hand turned against me, we blossom like a flower, and then wither in the winter and like a passing shadow, we quickly disappear. If I hold my head high, you hunt me like a lion, and even if I try, I can't feel you when you say that you're near. My days fly faster than the Weaver's shuttle, and they end without hope. You, my lucky man, have been privileged to join and cope in the same suffering your Savior claims he knows. And who are you to challenge your Creator? Surely resentment destroys the fool. And have you ever commanded the morning into daylight's transition into
Mark.
evening's cool?
Hot chocolate, Mark?
All I know is we're all houses that somebody crafted for a reason. Some of our paint is chipping and we wither with the seasons, but all of us branches are prone to decay. So is it an honorable man or a cruel hand that made us this way? I am a house that creaks and groans and all of my bones shake. I've got a cornerstone that I call my own, but I stumble on it every day. And the one that makes me a home, the builders rejected and threw away on some days. I am tempted to follow suit and uproot my faith. You built up your identity as a failure, gave ear to demons, legions, screaming, some father you are, some husband, some friend, some pastor, some man, some son, some Christian, some change that you turned out to be in the end. Just look at the work of your hands. Left for dead to survey the damage. I wanted to tell the tale the same way that the devil did, with those 4 white walls as his canvas. But I finally started to believe that God was going to heal my death. And it took a long time to get there. But I heard rumors of rest. For the whole earth will belong to them, and hunger and thirst for justice. I promise it'll be given. To those of you that work for peace, I will call you my own, and to those of you that hurt for me, my heaven will be your home. I will be rejected, but I will never be dethroned. So let the sorrows and the sadness and the victory be foretold. Flashback! Just before that first kiss. Judas! Do you remember back when I healed Lazarus, and the people rejoiced and he was set free? I just wanted to thank you for sharing in that memory with me. Flashback in between the times you betrayed me. Peter, do you remember walking out on the sea? It was scary at first, but we laughed. We laughed once we got to safety, man. Thank you for sharing in that memory with me. Flashback just before that crack of the whip hits and tears the rest of my skin off of my back and flesh. My friends, do you remember the 5 loaves and 2 fish? Do you remember my compassion on those of them that were sick? Do you remember blessing it and thanking God with the least of these? Thank you for sharing in that memory with me. Flashback just before that crown of thorns on my head. Do you remember laughing around that table, breaking bread, sharing wine? Do you remember what I said? This is poured out to forgive the sins of many. Thank you for sharing in that memory with me. And flashback just before I take that last breath. Before I close my eyes and my God turns his head and I lose the will to live and the strength in my legs and thunder sounds and lightning strikes and I am left for dead. My bride! Do you remember your first love and the feelings you had for me? Do you remember our long walks and the way that you stepped with me? Do you remember our long talks and the way that you wept with me? Do you remember the silence and the way we used to listen to the wonder I created? Your eyes used to glisten like the stars. I'm just kind of wondering where you are. The times you spend with me are far and few between. I miss you. I miss you. Please won't you come and make more memories with me? I'm here with you. Be here with me. I want to hold you, and I want you to see that that cross you took up to follow me is not dead. And I am not another empty, fleeting thing. That stone's been rolled away, and I'm awake and I breathe. Stick your fingers through my palms. If it helps you believe, not my will, but yours. Through the steps I take with these feet, make this triumph our memory as we sing and we scream. Surrender is difficult, but victory is so sweet. And I saw that shining star rising from the east, thinking maybe it was coming for me. Look, there's green grass that grows out of this dead dirt we call ground. And in the times that we're wandering, we're all lost and found people. And life pours itself out from lost and found hands, and from lost and found hearts, and from lost and found beautiful, created works of art. I believe in a maker that makes people out of clay, makes creators out of clay, makes makers out of clay. And I think that he molds them all into a million different shapes. Molds that clay into change. I believe in a breather that breathes life into nothing. A breather that breathes breath into a life that's worth something. And this is worth something. This is not all meaningless. And we may all of us be dust in the wind, but the dust spins in the breath of a speaker who knows where the particles lie, and in a word reassembles them again. Thank you guys so much. I'm Levi the Poet. Woo!
Let's sing this together.